The following video was shared by a woman who's genuinely searching for answers, hoping that someone out there might recognize the signs of what she's dealing with. For a while now, she's noticed a very specific and unsettling pattern involving her dog. Almost every single day, around the same time, her 6-month-old puppy suddenly starts barking intensely at one exact direction in the house. Not just casual barking, but focused, alert, almost defensive barking. What makes this strange is that about 5 minutes later, he suddenly stops, goes completely quiet, and then immediately looks around for her as if checking whether she noticed it too. This routine has repeated itself night after night, always the same direction, always the same behavior. One evening, she was sitting calmly when her dog climbed onto her lap, chewing on a bone, relaxed and content. Suddenly, this happened. Some believe he could be reacting to subtle sounds we can't hear, like changes in air pressure, pipes, or even wildlife outside the walls. But others weren't convinced, especially because of how consistent the timing is and how focused his attention seems to be. As for solutions, viewers offered a wide range of ideas. Some advised checking the space thoroughly for logical explanations, vents, rodents, or structural noises, just to rule them out. A few suggested cleansing the space, whether spiritually or simply by changing the energy in the room, while many stressed one thing above all else: pay attention to the dog. Because whatever he's reacting to it every night, at the same time, in the same place. And until she figures out why, this situation remains deeply unsettling and very much unexplained. This next clip was recorded inside Selma Mansion in Norristown, Pennsylvania, a location that many locals already avoid after dark. The mansion has long been surrounded by rumors, stories of former residents who never really left, reports of unexplained footsteps echoing through empty hallways, doors slamming on their own, and voices heard coming from rooms no one has entered in years. Some say the upper floors are the worst, especially the 3rd floor, where people claim the air suddenly feels heavier and breathing becomes difficult for no reason. On March 29, 2025, a group of urban explorers decided to investigate the mansion for themselves. Despite knowing its reputation, they went in prepared, setting up multiple cameras throughout the house before settling in for the night. While placing equipment in other areas of the mansion, a loud bang suddenly echoed through the building, sharp enough to stop everyone in their tracks. When they checked the footage, they realized the sound came from the bathroom on the 3rd floor, where one of the cameras had been left running. Watch closely. Skeptics argued it could be old pipes, structural shifts, or even wind, but that explanation doesn't easily account for the voice, the pacing of the footsteps, or the very human-sounding breath caught on audio. And considering this happened on the 3rd floor, an area already known for activity, many believe the explorers may have wandered into a space where whatever lingers there doesn't like being watched. So, was this just the mansion settling? Or did Selma Mansion make it very clear that they weren't alone that night? You decide. In this next video, a man believes he's being tormented by something far more sinister than a simple haunting, something he's convinced is a demon living inside his home. And honestly, after seeing everything he's documented, it's hard not to understand why he feels that way. For months now, he says he'll leave the house for work or errands, only to return and find it completely trashed. Tables flipped upside down, chairs thrown across rooms, kitchen equipment scattered across the floor as if someone deliberately went through the house in a rage. One night, while recording a video to explain what he's been experiencing, things suddenly escalated. Watch this.
Guys, so it's been very horrible. I have been experiencing some non-stop shit. You gotta be kidding me. What the shit? What the is that sound? What the Did I know they not just move? I know that they not just move, y'all. Shit! Oh shit! In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask every demon to leave my house immediately. Immediately. I want every demon to leave this house immediately. Immediately. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Leave my house now. The was that? I swear to God, and guys, this is crazy. Swear to God. What the shit! Holy shit! Oh shit! Holy shit! Holy I'm getting the out of here. Oh shit!
This isn't subtle movement or quiet noises in the background. When something moves, it moves hard. If it rocks a chair, it does so violently. If it rattles a door, it slams and shakes it with force. Viewers quickly began weighing in with their theories. Some believe this could be a case of a highly aggressive poltergeist feeding off fear and emotional stress. Others argue that the destructive nature, the escalation, and the way the activity responds directly to him speaking points to something darker, possibly a demonic attachment rather than a spirit tied to the house itself. As for solutions, people urged him to stop engaging altogether, to avoid provoking whatever it is. Some warned that labeling it a demon could make things worse, but others believe he may already be past that point. So what do you think? Is this truly a demon, or is there another explanation behind the violence in his home? Now, doll collectors are often misunderstood. To most people, collecting dolls sounds harmless, nostalgic, even comforting. But what many don't realize is that some collectors actively seek out dolls with history. Dolls that were loved intensely, abandoned suddenly, passed through multiple owners, or tied to trauma. In this clip, a woman who openly documents her collection of dolls with deep and unsettling backstories shares what happened after acquiring a particularly infamous one. The doll is known as Raggedy Ann Janet, located in the UK and already surrounded by disturbing rumors long before she ever laid eyes on it. Previous owners had reportedly complained about unexplained noises, objects shifting, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched, especially at night. Despite the warnings, she felt drawn to Janet and eventually brought the doll into her home. Almost immediately, she began noticing classic poltergeist-style activity. Objects would move without explanation. Doors creaked open on their own, and the most unsettling part, these events didn't feel random. They felt deliberate, as if something was testing boundaries, pushing limits, and making its presence known. Despite knowing all these, she wanted to confirm.
So Janet's been with us for a few days. Bobby's dropped her off. A few things have been moving around this room lately. Janet, is it you that's doing it? Oh my god, Thank you.
For her, the signs were enough. Janet wasn't just another piece in her collection. Something about this doll felt active, aware, and intrusive. And now the question remains, is Janet simply an object carrying residual energy from past owners? Or did bringing her home invite something that was never meant to follow? Either way, the activity surrounding this doll has left viewers deeply unsettled. And until more updates are shared, this case continues to raise an uncomfortable question about how much of the past we unknowingly invite into our homes. This next video is an update from the same man who previously shared how everything in his apartment changed the moment he brought a set of old toys home. Watch closely.
Se sigue escuchando, la verdad ya no soporto estar aquí. Ya no aguanto. ¿Qué será? No hay nada, raza. Esto ya se está saliendo de control, raza. Ya no puedo estar aquí, raza.
As he moves through the apartment trying to locate the source of the noise, a figure is briefly caught on camera. Even though something in him feels like the toys are connected, he wants clearer proof, something undeniable. But viewers say the signs have been there all along. For example, take a look at one of the nights he couldn't sleep at all.
Raza, son las 3 de la mañana, se siguen escuchando muchos ruidos allá afuera. Quieren abrir la puerta, raza. ¿Qué está pasando? Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío, líbrame del mal. Desde que compré ese espejo, raza. Ay.
What worries him the most is that whatever's in his apartment doesn't seem anchored to a single location. It chooses different areas, almost like it's rotating spots. One night, it was his bedroom. Watch.
Se escucha que están rasguñando abajo de la cama. No hay nadie, raza, a la madre. ¿Qué rollo? ¿Qué está pasando?
Something was scratching under his bed, and while some suggested the mirror near his bed could be acting as a trigger, that theory started to fall apart after this next clip surfaced.
Quieren prender la luz, raza. Esto está saliendo de control, raza. No se escucha que le pegan al tanque allá afuera. Esto se está saliendo mucho de control, raza. No sé qué está pasando, la verdad, raza. Pero a ese tanque le pegan. Ya es el segundo día desde que están pasando estas cosas y alguien que me pueda ayudar, déjenme en los comentarios, por favor. Gente, esto ya se salió de control, gente. Ya no puedo más aquí, gente. Ayuda. ¿Qué quieres? Déjenme en paz. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Quién eres? ¿Quién eres? ¿Qué quieres?
At this point, the activity is no longer subtle. The voice he hears at night is clearer and deeply unsettling. He's reached the point where he locks himself in one part of the apartment at night, afraid of what he might encounter if he walks into another room. And what makes this even more disturbing is the pattern. Whatever's in the apartment seems to choose where it stays. For days, it stayed in the kitchen, then it shifted to the laundry room. Now, it appears to have claimed the bathroom.
Están tocando la puerta del baño. Desde que compré este espejo están pasando todas las cosas. La madre.
He's asking for help, desperately, but most viewers are saying the answer is already right in front of him. Get rid of the dolls. But is it really that simple? Are the dolls the source? Or are they just vessels for something that was already looking for a way in? In this next clip, a woman named Haley set out on what was supposed to be a calm, grounding escape into the Appalachian wilderness, a place known for its beauty, isolation, and deeply rooted folklore. But not long into her walk, something felt off.
I just realized this is like the perfect place to come and sit and smoke. Cause look at this. Nothing. Sit right here. Hell yeah. This is my view. Y'all. A cigarette right now. I don't even smoke cigarettes. But it warm you up, you know? I'm cold. I felt like there's somebody behind me, but so this is as close as I'm going to get, but y'all can see it's like angled and it goes into the mountain. It doesn't look like it, but it's a little bit more deeper here. My feet would get wet, and these shoes, yeah, no, and it's cold. But yeah, I'm about to head out of here because my feelings been I don't know. It don't feel right now. But yeah, I don't have service. No, this is the worst part about exploring here is when you get like that when you get the feeling that you're being watched or followed. You can't. It's a little bit of a ways to get back to where you came from. Over there.
If you listen carefully, a voice can be heard quietly saying, "Hey." What makes this moment especially unsettling is that the voice sounds disturbingly similar to Haley's own. At the time she was recording, she didn't hear it at all. Instead, what she felt was something harder to ignore, a sudden sensation that someone was standing directly behind her. In paranormal folklore, especially in Appalachian legends, encounters like this are often linked to something known as a mimic, entities said to imitate human voices to lure people into responding. That's why many believe the worst thing you can do in situations like this is acknowledge the voice, especially out loud. Responding is believed to give whatever's their permission, or at the very least confirmation that you heard it. Some say mimics rely on familiarity, using your own voice or the voice of someone you trust to lower your guard. Others believe they test boundaries first, watching how you react before escalating, and then there are those who think these encounters aren't meant to chase you, but to mark you. So, was this just an audio coincidence paired with anxiety in an isolated place? Or did Haley narrowly avoid something far more disturbing by trusting her instincts and leaving when she did? I'll leave you to be the judge on this one. In the following video, a woman named Kalia opens up about something that has been unsettling her for years. Her 7-year-old daughter claims she sees things no one else can. According to Kalia, it all began when her daughter was just 3 years old. She would point at corners of the road, wave at empty hallways, and describe people walking through their home that no one else could see. Sometimes she mentioned the lady with the blue dress, other times the tall man who stands by the kitchen door at night. Now, her daughter insists she sees Kalia's father, who passed away long before the child was born, moving around their house like he never left. One day, while homesick from school, the little girl made another unsettling statement. Watch.
Who's the man in the picture?
Why? Did you see him?
Yeah, but I saw him upstairs.
You what?
I saw him upstairs.
What was he doing?
Standing here?
He was standing there?
Uh-huh.
He ain't say nothing to you?
Uh-huh.
Did he scare you? Was you scared?
No.
That's right. You don't need to be scared because that's your pap. Maybe he just came to see you. He didn't scare you when you seen him upstairs?
Uh-huh. So where's
Where's he at? He's in heaven.
Oh.
He's in heaven. He died when Mommy was little.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in heaven. Yeah.
That's why he died. Why was he dying from?
Yeah, he was in a car accident.
Car accident?
Did you see him last night or this morning? When did you see him?
I see him in upstairs.
You see the man upstairs when? Last night?
Uh-huh. And he's in heaven.
But you seen him last night.
Yeah, I've seen him last night. So he's dead?
Yeah.
So in your belly.
Okay.
The comment section exploded when she said those final words. In your belly. Some believe she was sensing a pregnancy, possibly even a reincarnation of Kalia's father. Others urged her to look into her family history because children with this kind of sight often inherit it. When Kalia finally did, everything clicked into place. She discovered that her grandmother was born with a veil over her face, a sign many believe marks a child with spiritual sight. Her grandmother reportedly always knew when someone was about to pass, saying she could see angels hovering above their homes in the days before it happened. And now, her own daughter seems to be showing the same signs, a connection across 3 generations, one that both fascinates and terrifies Kalia. But until Kay gives more updates, this one remains completely unsolved. Now, in this next clip, Kyle's crawlspace wakes him up yet again in the middle of the night. He'd been hearing strange noises coming from underneath the house for weeks, but this time it was loud enough to pull him out of bed. When he stepped outside to check, he captured this on camera.
Jesus Christ. I'm opening it. No, just go inside, I'm opening it. I'm doing it. Jesus Christ. All right, fucking, holy shit. Come on. Can't get this damn thing open. What the oh shit. Jesus. What the
Look closely. A figure was captured, and according to Kyle, things only got worse after that night. Some people say crawl spaces are hotspots for paranormal activity because of stagnant air, trapped energy, and the forgotten things previous tenants leave behind. Others say renters often seal a crawl space the moment they discover one, covering vents, locking access panels, or even placing salt barriers, just to stop whatever might be hiding underneath from wandering into the main house. But whatever was living under Kyle's home, it didn't seem interested in staying hidden anymore. In this next video, a guy living alone with his cat has been dealing with strange activity around his home. Small things going missing, doors clicking shut on their own, and that uneasy feeling of movement in the room when he's completely still. This time, he finally managed to catch one of those moments on camera. Now, there are two major perspectives people argue about when it comes to clips like this. On one hand, many believe that if something truly paranormal is in the room, the cat would sense it first. They pick up on shifts in air, sound frequencies humans can't hear, and changes in energy. Cats staring at corners, following something invisible with their eyes, or suddenly puffing up are usually taken as signs that something is there. But on the other hand, there's an entire group that argues the opposite. Cats don't always react, especially if the presence is familiar, subtle, or something they've already gotten used to. Some say pets coexist with unseen things in ways humans can't understand, and silence from a cat doesn't always mean nothing is happening. So what do you think? If there really was something in that house, would the cat have reacted? Or is this one of those rare moments where the human caught something the animal didn't? Now, in this next clip, things take a far stranger turn. Lauren Lowe, an animal lover and a mom, was cleaning her daughter's room in broad daylight when she suddenly heard this.
I'm in my daughter's room, and I just heard tapping. Hold on. Like, it sounded like it came from right up here. And there's nothing right above. There's nothing above. There's no floor right above this room. Hold on. Hold on, let me turn my light so you can see it better. Hold on. Hold on. See, there's nothing. It's just my daughter's closet. There's nothing in there. That was so weird. I hope you guys heard that. Seeing weird shit. That was weird. I hope you guys heard that tapping. Okay. Weird.
And here's what makes that sound so unsettling. This house has no attic and no basement. So what's causing the noise? But that was only the beginning. A few nights later, around 10 p.m., her dog started acting strange. Growling, pacing, staring at the door like something was standing right behind it. So Lauren opened the door. Take a look.
What is it? Is there something there? Stay here. What the f is that noise? Come on. Go on, take it. Go. What was that? What was that? What is that? Come here, Teddy. Oh my god, what was that noise?
If you watch closely, a figure slips through the kitchen area right behind the lampstand. And with everything she's been experiencing in this house, she's becoming convinced there's someone, or something, living in her home that shouldn't be there. So she finally decided to set up a camera, but while she was trying to set it up, this happened.
Okay, I'm finally gonna go put the camera in because we obviously heard some really weird, strange noises last night. We heard a loud bang. That was Teddy. That was Teddy running up the stairs. You can see him. He's going upstairs with me. Okay. All right. So we're putting this camera inside this room today, which is where I saw the hoof prints, which are still there. As you can see, those hoof prints are there. Everybody wants to say that that is furniture indentions. It's not. Okay, so I'm gonna set the camera right here, facing, maybe right here, facing out. Okay. Oh my god. Jeff? Was that you? What? The door just slammed behind me. Was that you?
Am I upstairs?
Okay, I'm coming back. I'm coming back down. I'm coming back down. I'm coming back down. The door just slammed on me.
Prints appearing on the carpet, tapping sounds, figures moving through the background, and now the door closing on its own. The activity is escalating fast, and what scares Lauren the most is that her husband isn't bothered at all. He's lived with lions and tigers, so a random footprint on the carpet doesn't even bother him. But let's see how long that confidence lasts, because when things get intense, it's hard to ignore. So what do you think is in their house? A spirit, a trespasser, or something else entirely? This next clip was captured by a home camera, and the wife, Annalisa, is completely shaken by what she found. Have a look. In the first recording, it almost looks like a figure casually walking. Then, in the second clip, a voice whispers, "Eric." And this happens barely 2 minutes after her husband, Eric, left for work. People often say that when you hear your name, especially when you're alone, it can mean a few different things. Some believe it's a spirit trying to get your attention. Others say it's a form of mimicry, the kind associated with entities that repeat familiar voices to draw people in. And then there's the psychological angle, that your mind sometimes fills silence with something it expects to hear, but that doesn't quite explain a voice captured on camera. So what do you think this is? A coincidence, a call, or something that knows Eric's name a little too well? In this next video, a mother named Monique put together a compilation of the strange things that have been happening inside her home. And the weirdest part? There's a pattern. every single incident seems to involve only her baby's belongings. Nothing else in the house ever moves, shifts, or falls. Just the baby's things. And for some reason, Monique is convinced it's her grandmother trying to make her presence known. Watch this. At first glance, your mind might jump straight to gravity or maybe vibrations from someone walking, but once you see the baby's bouncy chair start moving and the piano move, that explanation becomes harder and harder to hold on to. But here's why Monique believes it's her grandmother. Before she passed, her grandmother was obsessed with the idea of protecting every new baby born into the family. She'd always say they arrived with angels still holding on to them. She also used to buy musical toys for every grandchild, saying music kept children safe. And the day Monique brought her baby home, she swears she felt her grandmother's perfume, the exact scent, near the crib. So now, seeing only the baby's toys activate quietly, gently, almost like someone playing with the child from the other side, she can't help but feel it's her grandmother checking in. But if it's not her grandma or a friendly spirit, many people have already advised Monique to sage the house, open every window, and let whatever energy is inside leave. But will this really help or make the situation worse? I'll leave it to you to decide. Now, in this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian continues his late-night exploration deep in the Minnesota woods. Heading straight for an isolated cemetery locals whisper about endlessly. It's a place people avoid after dark, and at the center of it sits something even darker. A grave the town calls the Glowing Grave. From the previous clip we posted, the fence surrounding the grave rattled on its own. But instead of leaving, Ian pushed deeper. He wanted answers. He wanted to know who or what was trying to get his attention. So he attempted to communicate with whatever spirit was tied to that grave.
Let's say, Nanny? Is your name Nanny? Whoa. Okay. I take that as a yes. Thank you. I take it you're a female. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Does that say what I think it says? 5 years old? Oh my God. I'm so sorry. That is so tragic. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why you come off so playful. My name is Ian, and I'd just like to be your friend. Is there anybody else that's buried here? Whoa, I just heard your voice. Could you say it once more? Dude, oh my God, I just heard you again.
Moments later, Ian discovered that there weren't just one, but two spirits said to haunt this burial spot. Nanny Bickle, who passed away at age 5, and Ida Bickle, who passed at 7. Curious and uneasy, he pulled out his camera to take a picture, and that's when everything became real.
So much awesome activity over here. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my God, those are moving. Would you like your picture taken? Pose for the photo. Could you smile? Alright, I'm gonna count to 3, okay? And I want you to pose for this photo. 1, 2, 3.
If you look closely at this photo, 2 misty figures appear to be standing at the grave. 2 small hazy silhouettes shaped like little girls, both staring directly into the camera from the darkness. Their outlines look almost like children caught between worlds, watching Ian as if they'd been waiting for someone to finally see them. For Ian, this was the proof he needed, that he wasn't alone out there. In the following video, Mosh explains that he believes he's been stalked by something dangerous. Over the past few weeks, he's mentioned waking up to footsteps pacing outside his bedroom door, shadows slipping past his hallway even when all the lights are off, and his unplugged TV flickering to life in the middle of the night. He's also talked about hearing low whispers, words he can't make out, coming from corners of the house he refuses to enter alone anymore. But one morning around 5 a.m., things escalated. Watch.
There's nobody here. It's just me and I'm shaking so hard because I just came down the stairs to make coffee and I was doing that and then I turned around and I saw something and then I came over to look and I heard footsteps coming down the stairs. Like you know when you hear the stairs coming and you know which way somebody's coming, up or down. You can tell which way somebody's coming. So I heard somebody coming down the stairs and it's 5 in the morning, so it's not my dad or my mom. They're not here. They're still sleeping. I heard whispering and I heard footsteps coming down the stairs. Oh my god. Okay. Hi cat, hi. Hey beautiful. You scared the crap out of me. I thought you were something different. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. It didn't sound like you were coming down the stairs though. It sounded heavy. Why are you down here so early?
Whatever this was didn't just feel random to him, it felt intentional, like something had been creeping closer and finally decided to make itself known. Now, with everything he's been experiencing, people advised him to do an egg cleanse. In the paranormal world, an egg cleanse is believed to pull out negative energy or spiritual attachments, almost like wiping off something clinging to your aura. If the egg cracks strangely, turns cloudy, or shows dark shapes inside after the cleanse, many believe it's a sign that something unwanted was attached to you. And for someone living in Appalachia, where folklore, spirits, and strange encounters are practically part of everyday life, viewers weren't exactly surprised. They've heard enough stories from the mountains to know, when something starts following you out there, you pay attention. In this next clip, a group of explorers went to visit Selma Mansion in Norristown, a place steeped in dark history and ghost stories. Legend has it that during the Victorian era, the mother of the Knox family and several of her children died in that very mansion. Since then, visitors have reported strange, mischievous activity. Cabinet doors slamming open and shut on the 3rd floor, and shadowy figures glimpsed deep in the basement. People whisper that the spirits of the Knox children are still playing their old games. So when the explorers arrived, they didn't waste time. They set up a spirit box session, hoping to communicate with whatever might still linger in the walls. But things didn't stay calm for long. Watch this.
So did you like this toy? Hello.
Are you the one slamming the gate?
Yeah. Can you turn my toy back on, please? No. I hate it. No, it doesn't say notice me or something. You not like the flashing lights?
As they tried to pick up responses, something unmistakably out of place moved. One of the team said the air felt thick, like a weight pressing down on them, making every breath feel heavy. Now the question is this solid proof that the rumors about the Knox children haunt the mansion, or is there a different explanation we're missing? Now, in this next video, a man captures something he's certain isn't normal. He was sitting on the couch watching TV like any other night when he suddenly heard a soft jingle, the zipper on his wife's handbag, the same bag that had been sitting untouched for hours. No one walked past it, no one brushed against it, nothing. Just a sudden metallic rattle in a perfectly still room. Curious and a little uneasy, he got up to check what was going on. But the moment he moved closer, this happened. How do you explain something that hasn't been touched for hours suddenly shifting on its own? No breeze, no pets. Normally, he and his wife might have shrugged it off. But recently, too many strange things have been happening in that house for them to ignore. Just 2 nights earlier, the wife said she saw a shadow walk past the doorway, even though her husband was asleep beside her. So when the bag moved on its own, it didn't feel random. It felt like part of a pattern, something building and getting bolder. Paranormal or not, one thing is clear. Something in that house is trying to make itself known. In this next video, a man was in his room watching a movie when he suddenly realized something strange was happening in his bathroom. And to this day, he still has no idea what he walked into. Take a look.
Oh shit. Guys, I'm here watching the Polar Express movie, my favorite movie, and something is screaming from the bathroom. Or towards that area. Or something from over here. Oh, shit. Shit. Who's in here? If you're in here, come on out. Come on out, I said. Come on out now. Something died. Something stinks. If you're in the bathroom, come on out. Come on out. Oh shit. Come on out now. Come on out. Ah shit. Oh shit. Hey. Who's in the bathroom now? Oh shit. Oh shit, it's nobody. Oh shit. Oh. Oh. Ah, fuck. Oh shit. I just saw something. I'm getting the out of here. Stay the fucking.
The very first thing that hit him when he opened the door was the smell. Sharp, sour, and overwhelming. A sudden bad odor appearing out of nowhere is almost never a good sign, especially in paranormal circles. Many believe that foul smells can signal a spirit trying to manifest, or something darker trying to draw attention to itself. But what really unsettled viewers was something he hadn't even considered at first. He had 2 mirrors facing each other. For a lot of people who study or follow the paranormal, that setup is a big red flag. 2 mirrors facing each other are believed to create an infinite reflection, a kind of open tunnel or energy loop that some say can invite activity or amplify whatever is already present in the home. So when you combine all of this, the sudden foul smell, the strange disturbance in the bathroom, and the mirror-to-mirror setup, whatever he walked into wasn't random. But as always, I'll leave you to be the judge. The following video was recorded by a man who has never been able to stay in one apartment for long. Every time he settles somewhere new, things start out normal, until a few months pass. Then the same pattern begins. Unexplainable noises, objects shifting on their own, and that unnerving feeling of being watched. And in this new house, the activity has already started. Only this time, each encounter seems worse than the last. One night, just as he was about to go to bed, he heard someone banging on his door. Watch closely.
Right, banging again. It's like something on the stairs. You can't hear it though. I can. Yeah. It's weird. It's not next door. It's like the what the There might be pipes in floorboard. So every time I look, there's nothing there, though. On the stairs, quick. Nothing there. I need to tie him shit. Turn the water up. Freaking myself out.
If you look carefully, you'll notice a dark figure in a hoodie just standing there, watching him. But here's the real question. Could watching be the only thing this figure can do? Because the idea that someone is quietly observing you inside your own home is already disturbing. The kind of fear that sticks with you, makes you double check your locks, keeps you awake at night, wondering what you didn't hear or didn't see. But with cases like this, it's almost never a one-time thing. Watch this.
There's something banging then. Something was banging. I'm talking to myself. Something was just banging, like on my stairs. Dusty as being a Is that a nib as well? What's that? There's something there. What the freaking myself out, man. Calm down. What the was that? What's that? Something up there. What the
Whatever is in this house, it's getting bolder, and to make matters worse, viewers have pointed out that his videos show a crazy amount of orbs. So what do you think he's actually dealing with here? Is this man simply unlucky with every home he chooses, or is something following him from place to place? You decide. Now, in this next video, a ghost hunter named Donnie has been dealing with a sudden spike in activity inside his home, and it's all happened within the past 3 weeks. According to him, whatever is going on didn't start randomly. He believes something followed him home after an EVP session, and every day since, the activity has been getting stronger. One morning, he woke up to the sound of someone running down his stairs, fast, loud, and heavy, but here's the part that chilled him. He was completely alone. He grabbed his phone and started recording. Take a look.
Oh, what the? Off. Right off. Who's here? Who's here? Me. Do you see that? That should not be good. Who's going up my stairs? Hey, buddy. You okay? Who's here? Are you okay? Are you okay? Holy sh... This has got to stop. Fuck that. Two swinging lights. I don't know what the you can't be here. You have to go. I didn't tell you to come here. So I'm the only one here. Ever since this is getting way...
Objects moving on their own, cupboards swinging open, footsteps on floors where nobody should be, and sharp knocks echoing through the house. These aren't occasional events anymore, they're becoming aggressively common, but something else made him truly terrified. Watch this.
I don't want you at the top of the stairs. Come on, this is your playroom. This is our playroom. Don't be scared. Come on, buddy. This is your basement. This is me in your basement. Come on. Terry, you don't gotta be scared. You come with me. Come on. Think something's down here? Come on. Come with Daddy. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You don't have to be scared. You come with me. What, someone up there? You okay? What's that look for? Are you scared, buddy? You don't have to be scared. You're a good boy. You don't have to be scared. I'll pick you up. You want me to pick you up? Come here. You want to come? I'll protect you. Okay. This is his basement. You don't have, I've never seen, why aren't you coming? Hey?
After that, he went down to the basement to try to figure out why his dog was acting that way, and that's when the situation crossed into something far more unsettling.
So, it's holy water. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. What the? Thy will be done on earth as is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. This is the stair. Oh, fine. Forgive. You cannot stay here. You are not welcome. I did not invite you. Are you okay? You don't have to be scared. You stick with me, okay? What did you see? Did you see something? Holy shit. Did I not just close that? No, I left that open. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. That's... You gotta go. You were not invited here. You're not wanted here. Okay, I got you set up. You're pointing towards that. All right. The top of this scare case is where I thought I saw a shadow. And that was moving like that.
For someone who has been inside more haunted locations than most people will ever step foot in, it's easy to understand why Donnie thinks something attached itself to him and followed him home. But until we get more updates from him, this case remains an unresolved and very alarming mystery. Now in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his deep dive into one of Nebraska's most notoriously haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. This time, he headed straight into the basement, a part of the building many people refuse to enter. According to long-standing rumors, the basement is home to the spirit of a little girl who used to run and play down there, and there's also an old piano said to start playing by itself when no one is around. When Ian reached the bottom of the stairs, he began trying to communicate with whatever presence might still linger there. At first, everything was quiet, just that heavy, stale basement air. But then, this happened.
What the hell was that? Whatever it was, it sounded loud. And metal. Did you just move something in here? Oh God! Oh God! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! I know exactly what that was now. It was that freaking doctor's table, or whatever the heck that is. Oh God! I don't think I could stay down here much longer. Dude, that thing just freaking moved all by itself. Just take deep breaths. You can get through this. Oh God. Look at that thing. It was literally up against the wall. And now look, it is way out here. In the freaking drawer. The drawer's open too. That wasn't open before. Was this one of the doctor's tables that was used in this hospital? Oh my God. I'm legitimately like ready to go. I don't want to be down here. That literally sounded like a little girl. Little girl's voice.
It sounded like a child's voice, and the moment Ian heard it, he froze. He couldn't shake the feeling that the stories he'd heard were no longer just rumors. Something was down there. And after this moment, Ian wasn't the only one convinced that the basement holds a spirit that never really left. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was recorded on the same day Kyle's crawlspace woke him up yet again. For weeks, he'd been hearing strange noises coming from underneath the house. Soft knocks, shuffling, and the kind of slow dragging sounds that make you question whether something living, or something else entirely, is down there. But this time, the noise was loud enough to pull him straight out of bed. He grabbed a flashlight, went into the crawlspace to check, and saw a dark figure standing completely still in the far corner, almost as if it had been waiting for him. Later that night, things escalated. Watch.
What the fuck? Shit. What the f? Yo, my house is going crazy tonight. Shit. It's going crazy. This is the crawlspace thing just happened. It just happened. I'm sure I'm gonna be posting that. And now the lights are just going crazy. What the? And my freaking flashlight ain't working. Turn the flash on here. Look at this. Look. What the? Shit.
Kyle has been living in this house for about a year and a half, and the activity has never stayed in one location. It's moved through every part of his home, from the crawl space, to the attic, to the garage, and now even inside the rooms where he sleeps. He's heard children laughing in empty hallways. He's seen objects shift on their own. Many believe the pattern suggests something intelligent, something that isn't tied to a single spot, but instead travels through the home at will. Others think Kyle might be dealing with more than one presence, but the truth is, no one has been able to pinpoint a clear cause for the escalating activity in Kyle's home, and every new clip only makes the situation more unsettling. In this next clip, a couple unknowingly bought a haunted Airbnb, and from the very first day they settled in, it's been one thing after another. Strange noises echoing through the hallways, objects shifting when no one is near them, cold patches moving from room to room, and every now and then the unmistakable sound of footsteps pacing in the basement even though no one lives below. But the moment that really made them start documenting everything happened on October 23rd at around 6:10 p.m. The wife and their dog, Vito, were downstairs when they both froze at the same time, hearing something moving in the upstairs portion of the Airbnb. Vito ran ahead up the staircase, but the second he reached the top, he flinched hard at something none of them could see. Watch this. According to the wife, for weeks now, Vito refuses to go any further than the top of the stairs. And anyone familiar with paranormal cases knows that is never a good sign. Dogs avoid areas that have strong energy signatures, and whatever is upstairs clearly makes him feel unsafe. But you see, while the husband is exhausted, overwhelmed, and constantly on edge from the non-stop disturbances, the wife remains strangely calm. She says it's because this is his first brush with something paranormal, but for her, these things have been happening ever since she lost her mother 10 years ago. She's been on a long spiritual journey since then, visiting mediums, trying different forms of communication, and opening herself to all phases of the paranormal in hopes of feeling her mother's presence again. And that's exactly where a major debate started, because many people believe this entire haunting might not be tied to the Airbnb at all, but to her. When you open yourself spiritually, especially through mediums, seances, or grief-driven communication, it's widely believed that you also open doors you don't fully understand. And instead of attracting a loved one, you may attract something completely different that simply mimics familiar emotions to get your attention. So now the rumors are beginning to shift away from a haunted Airbnb to a spirit attached to the wife, and the timing lines up disturbingly well. The couple eventually left the Airbnb and moved into a new home, hoping to escape whatever was happening. But it's starting to seem like something followed them there too. Listen closely.
Okay, if you have anything to tell us, we're listening. We heard you. What do you have to say?
She caught this voice on camera as her husband took their dog out for a walk. Some viewers were terrified, urging her not to respond to whatever it was, but according to her, not everything is demonic, and she feels some spirits simply want acknowledgement. She's even taken it upon herself to figure out exactly what's in her home, why it's there, and whether she can help it move on. But here's the part no one can ignore. If this truly began long before the Airbnb, then leaving the house was never going to solve the problem. The attachment might be to her, not the property. Weeks after this video was recorded, the whispering didn't stop. In fact, it became more frequent. Watch this.
So we're open to communication. There's been stuff happening on the property in our other building, and earlier today. So this is the time to talk if you have anything you want to say to us. You're getting tons of orbs.
And it's right where you said, like right here. Are you? See?
Tell us your story. We're open to hear. And we're not judgmental. You can tell us anything.
This time she couldn't clearly make out what it said, so she posted it online. And surprisingly, most viewers heard the same thing. The voice saying, Maisie. Every other sound they've caught in that house has been confusing, distorted, or completely unintelligible. But this is the first time a name has come through clearly. Whether Maisie is the entity trying to reach out, a person connected to the wife's past, or something else entirely, they're still trying to figure it out, and they're hoping that one day they'll finally get an answer. Now, in this next video, a hospital worker was assigned to a room that many staff members quietly refer to as the haunted one. Every hospital has that one space, an older room with a heavy history, a place where people feel watched even when they're alone, a place where equipment seems to malfunction more than it should. And for her, this was that room. She said she felt uneasy the moment she stepped inside, so before she began her shift, she decided to test something. She set her camera up in the corner of the room and then walked away for a moment. When she came back to check the footage, this is what she caught. If this had happened in an ordinary house, maybe a bed moving on its own, people might try to explain it away. But this happening in a hospital, that's something people won't overlook. So many souls have groaned, suffered, and passed on in that exact bed. Some believe that the energy of a patient's final moments can cling to the objects around them, and others think someone might still be hanging on to the last moments they spent in this room. And when she shared more details, things only got stranger. This wasn't just any room. It was part of the labor and delivery department, and it was often used for patients in isolation due to severe illness, or patients experiencing IUFD cases where the emotional weight in the room is already overwhelming. She even added that most staff avoid placing anyone here unless they absolutely have to. Some don't even like standing in the doorway for too long. Even after hearing all of this, some people online still doubted the bed moved on its own, so she shared this clip.
Here, I'll plug it. Well, I guess it's plugged over here, but...
The remote was right there on the bed, completely unplugged, not connected to anything. And yet, the bed still lifted and lowered by itself, as if responding to a patient who wasn't physically there anymore. For many viewers who've had their own unsettling experiences in hospitals, this video opened the door for them to share their stories too. The comments were filled with people recalling similar encounters in quiet rooms, empty hallways, or places where life and death intersect every single day. So, if you've ever felt something unexplainable in a hospital, this might be the moment to share your story too. Now, you might recognize this house from previous videos, an old property that once belonged to an elderly couple who passed away, leaving the home completely abandoned for years. A ghost hunter and his crew had been investigating the place for weeks, documenting everything from quiet knocks in the hallway to objects shifting on their own. But on this particular night, they noticed something different, something that felt restless. For the first few hours, everything stayed relatively calm. A curtain swayed, a picture frame tilted, nothing too threatening, just the kind of subtle activity that makes investigators believe a spirit is simply trying to communicate. But that sense of calm didn't last. According to them, the longer they stayed, the more they felt like whatever was in that house had started to grow uncomfortable with their presence. Watch this.
Băi, dăm ciută.
Băi, lasă-vă prostiile, nu mai te plimbi. Măi, mă plimb în jurul tău. Dă-mă ciuta, lasă, dă ciuta omului. Te plimbi acum.
Băi, mă duc să văd o leacă ce are.
Băi, eu intru să...
Ce are scris pe ea, poate are scris pe ea 1743, că nebunesc. Abule. Băi, oprește-ți, iau ciuta aia. N-a futuz nația, mătii. Na, dă-l jos. Dă-l jos, futuz rasa, mătii, na. Ia că ți-am luat ciuta, uite-o.
Alin, pune-i în față așa aia acum.
Hai! Na, ciuta, sărăcio, ho, oprește-te!
Mâncața și pula ta.
Doamne ferească Dumnezeu!
De la ciută?
Na, bă, mă, paranormal.
Măi, de la ciută faci așa.
Na, mă, ia la spânzuri cu ciuta aia, tragă în gura ta.
Ai pus-o invers, mai cu ciuta cu capul încolo, ai pus?
A fost scoasă din poză.
Ce-a făcut?
Da.
Am lipit-o și nu se mai poate deslipi.
Da, leagă-te la cap cu ea, dar ce nervi așa pe tine, mă, fată?
Ai pus ciuta cu capul încolo, băi. Vezi acum cine dă. Hai de pula mea.
Dar păi noi trebuie să mai râdim ca să nu ne căcăm pe noi. Am uitat să mă uit din subtele. Hai că vin! Da, bune, am uitat să mă uit, mă, din... Ia uite, măi, na. Vezi că tu, mă, te poți să faci cât vrei.
Băi, pune.
Dă-i tare, du-te, tragă în gura ta.
Nu, în jur, măi, ce-o zic. Dar nu-i de-aua.
Na. Na.
Each time they reached out to pick something up from the table, no matter what it was, the objects began vibrating violently until they dropped them, almost as if the spirit was saying, "Don't touch my things." Still, the investigators didn't leave. They believed the spirit wasn't trying to harm them, only protective, territorial, and clearly aware of everything they were doing. So they decided to do a full sweep of the house, hoping to capture more evidence of what they were dealing with.
Să ne arunci prin grinzele astea, să ne rupă capul și la revedere. N-auziți mărit? Măr! Dă-te, mă-mi ba pula, mă, să gata, băi, hai, divă, să închidem, să plecăm acasă, mă.
Măr.
Lasă-mă, dracu, în pace. Am zis măr, măi, la mișto am zis. Doamne ferească Dumnezeu. Reptilian, măi, ce asta? Tactilograf.
Telegraf.
Every room they walked into seemed to respond to them, and the deeper they moved into the house, the more intense the activity became, like the spirit's patience was wearing thin.
Uite, mă, MF-ul ăla nu mai face nimic, nu se mai...
Măr.
Uite și suntem cu telefonul la 2 metri de el.
Moartea în spectacol.
Ia, moartea în spectacol.
Mișcă-la, da, asta o leagă.
M-am murit în război. Tu date MF-ul jos, mă până în jos.
Abandonat.
Că m-am zis de MF că nu se mișcă, că nu s-a prins nicio lumină, l-a dat de tot jos. Măr!
De ce ai venit?
Nu vomite, ce faci, mă, frate?
Să sugrumul, măi, cum așa face, cred că omul când se spânzură, să facă, dar cred că ăsta-i somnul. Eu n-am auzit niciodată.
That moment finally gave them a little more insight. Whoever, or whatever, was still roaming this house belonged to someone who had suffered during the war. Some viewers believe it might be tied to the former homeowner who reportedly lost a loved one overseas. Others think it could be a residual imprint, a fragment of a soldier who once stayed there during troop movements decades ago. But until the team returns with more answers or clearer evidence, the true identity of the spirit still remains a mystery. The following video was recorded by Francisco, a man who works at the Gallup Indian Medical Center, a place known for late-night emergencies, long quiet hallways, and the kind of unexplained noises staff usually try not to think too much about. Things fall on their own sometimes. Doors close when no one's around, and workers have shared stories of hearing footsteps long after the wards are empty. And on this particular evening, Francisco had his own experience. He was the only person left at work around 5 p.m. when he started hearing things.
And I'm just recording because I don't know who it could be or anyone's here. It's just me here. It's like 5 o'clock and nobody's here and I'm the only one here ready to leave. Hello? 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 It's crazy because there's nobody here. Hello? 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 Where is it coming from? There's nobody. I don't know where that noise is coming from. Hello? Anybody here?
He kept walking from one section of the office to another, checking every corner, every hallway, but there was nothing. Yet the knocking continued, clear, deliberate. And according to some beliefs, when a knock happens 3 times, it's not always a person. Some say it's a way for a spirit to mimic human behavior. Others believe it's a warning or a way to get someone's attention. Unsettled and unable to shake the experience, Francisco went straight to the security unit to explain what had happened. But when they pulled up the feed, no one was there. Just Francisco, and whoever or whatever wanted him to know he wasn't alone. Now Francisco is left with one question. If this happens again, what's he supposed to do? Ignore it, confront it, or leave it completely alone? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. This next clip was captured around 3 a.m. by a family you might remember from a previous video on this channel, but let me give you a quick rundown so you're not lost. It all started on random nights when their daughter would suddenly wake up crying, and while they were trying to calm her down, they'd hear someone knocking on their front door. At first it seemed harmless, maybe a confused neighbor, maybe someone who had the wrong apartment, the kind of thing you brush off because you don't want to assume the worst. But it kept happening, night after night. Same soft knocking, same timing, and eventually curiosity got the best of them. One night, the father finally decided to check, and when he opened the door, there was a figure standing right outside. People who watched that first clip said the family made a huge mistake opening the door at that hour, because whatever that figure was, it's like something shifted after that moment. The knocking stopped, but other things started happening. Watch this.
Se están escuchando ruidos en la parte de abajo de la casa. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. ¿Ya vieron el sillón?
Mi primer dieta a los 9 años. They all love me, but they want me to lose weight. Tienen como una propia cárcel. Tu casa cuando sacan todo. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Te animas a divertirte?
Desvestida, la moda pasó de moda. Todos los domingos, 10 de la
Se estaba moviendo, lo juro por Dios.
por Star Channel.
Cada vez se empeora más esto. ¿Quién anda ahí? Buenas. Estoy bastante preocupado, se escucha ahora ruidos allá arriba.
Sea lo que seas, no perteneces aquí. No sé qué quieras. Vete de aquí, por favor. ¿Quién diablos prendió la televisión? Esta tele también.
Now the TV turns on by itself at night, and the rocking chair in the living room moves on its own. Slow, steady, like someone invisible has settled into it and is gently rocking back and forth. Viewers believe whatever had been knocking might have slipped inside when the door opened, almost as if the opening itself acted like an invitation. Others think the presence had been waiting for acknowledgement, and that moment at the door was the confirmation it needed. And with the rocking, the electronics flickering and powering on, and the strange, heavy silence where the knocking used to be, a lot of people feel this might only be the beginning of something more intense in that house. But what do you think is happening here? And what exactly can a family do in a situation like this? They might just be reading the comments looking for answers. The following clip has sparked a debate among believers and skeptics, and it all centers on a woman named Sydney and her sister Gretchen, Gretch as she calls her, who rented an Airbnb for a wedding they had that weekend. Only a few minutes after settling in, Sydney stepped out to walk the dog, but when she came back inside, this is what she met.
Jesus Christ.
Great.
Touch it.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
The curtain, the balloon, and the dog's leash that suddenly flung into the air on the staircase like someone yanked it upward. Skeptics immediately jumped in, insisting it was just the wind, or maybe the house settling, but others pushed back, pointing out how each object moved, almost as if something was interacting with them. Sydney and Gretch couldn't shake the feeling that something about this place was off, but it was only their first hour in the house, and leaving right away felt like they'd be overreacting. And besides, the dog seemed calm, which most people agreed was a sign there was nothing to worry about, but soon that would change.
Okay, so this is the leash. If this moves, I'm literally going to run. There she goes again. I don't think the leash is gonna move, but she's definitely sensing something. Every single day.
With the way the dog was reacting, there's definitely something on those stairs. It wasn't the curious kind of sniffing dogs do when they pick up a new scent. This was cautious, stiff, almost like he was bracing for whatever he sensed up there. And to make matters worse, one viewer commented that she actually recognized the Airbnb because of the carpet pattern, and claimed someone had died on those exact steps. Some believe that kind of energy can linger, attaching itself to the place and replaying moments of fear. Others think trauma can open a doorway, like the house becomes a magnet for things that don't belong in this world anymore. Sydney, determined to make sense of what was going on, began quietly looking around the house, checking corners and details she'd ignored when they first arrived. That's when she discovered something that might be the missing piece to their puzzle. Watch this.
Okay, so I think I figured out why my dog just is always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I think it's something that's underneath. So I tried to check, but the door is locked. Obviously it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up, but so yeah, I don't think that it's what's on the stairs like what I initially thought. I think it's what's below. I want to find out at this point.
Now that they'd found a locked basement under the stairs, things finally began to add up. Sydney couldn't shake the feeling that whatever was happening on those steps, whatever her dog kept sensing and pacing around, was connected to whatever was sealed behind that door. It was almost like the dog was reacting to something moving underneath them, something it could feel but they couldn't. Curious and honestly a little desperate for answers, Sydney slid her phone under the door to see what might be inside. Watch this.
So this is the switch. You guys can see the light is on right there. I wonder if
just maybe there's someone right behind the door. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god, did that just happen?
The doorknob suddenly moved, like someone was trying to open it from the inside. At that point, the ladies were terrified, their thoughts going in every direction. At first, they tried to think logically. They even wondered if someone might actually be living down there because they'd experienced something similar at another Airbnb where the host was secretly double renting rooms. But when they checked the house again and found no one there, that theory fell apart, leaving them with something much more unsettling. After taking a moment to breathe and think through what just happened, the sisters decided to try again, this time hoping to catch whatever was turning the doorknob. But something even more terrifying happened. Have a look.
Scary. Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
Something yanked the phone straight out of Sydney's hand from the basement. and when the phone landed down there, there was no visible person in sight, yet the phone kept moving, almost like it was being dragged or nudged by something just out of frame. Viewers started speculating immediately. Some thought someone was hiding in the shadows, others swore it looked like the phone was being pulled by an invisible force, the way objects shift during severe residual hauntings. They called the host, who eventually came over to unlock the basement so Sydney could retrieve her phone. But when he arrived, Sydney and her sister noticed something they couldn't ignore. Watch.
But there's no reason for me to go that way. But I'm waiting to start hearing things from coming underneath my house. That's it. I'm out of here. The door. Okay, well. Door too. It's creepy.
Thank you.
The host had a tattoo of nested triangles on his right palm, and several viewers said they would bet anything that he knew more about that room than he was letting on. The symbol itself sent the comment section spiraling. Many viewers immediately recognized the symbol, saying it's associated with occult practices, protection marks, or rituals involving gateways or sealed rooms. The fact that this symbol was on his hand and the basement was locked under the stairs sent people into a frenzy. A few even suggested the tattoo might mean he tried sealing something in that basement, and that whatever it was might not be fully contained anymore. The situation worried a lot of people. Viewers kept asking for details, urging the sisters to leave the Airbnb immediately. Some even insisted they could get a refund if the host failed to disclose that someone else might also be renting the space. Eventually, Sydney responded with this update.
Okay, so I sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb, and hold on, let me turn on the light. Okay, I sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb asking, like, hey, is there someone else renting it out as well as us or what? Because there's a room under the stairs that we can't get into. It's locked, so I didn't know. And basically he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are in the Airbnb right now, like booked out for the week. So okay, kind of feel relieved in a way, because I think it would be really weird and kind of creepy if there were people staying there as well that we didn't know about. But yeah, he didn't seem worried at all about it, so we'll see.
Now, Sydney is convinced they aren't dealing with a simple rental mishap. With the unexplained movement, the dog's behavior, the locked basement, the shaking doorknob, the phone being pulled, and the host's unsettling tattoo, it's getting harder and harder to deny that something else might be in that house. So what was in the basement? A spirit trying to get out? Or something trying very hard to keep others from getting in? You decide. This next clip is an update from the family that once opened their door after weeks of strange knocking. The same family whose life changed from odd disturbances to full-blown haunting. Now, just when they thought things might calm down, the activity has escalated, and it's getting worse, especially around the kitchen. Watch.
Padre Santo.
nuestra estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Hágase tu voluntad así en la tierra como en el cielo.
This isn't the soft, tentative knocking of before. This is aggressive, hard, demanding. It rattles the door's frame. It shakes the house. It doesn't stop after 1 or 2 knocks. It repeats, builds, as though whatever's on the other side has run out of patience and is desperate to get in. That alone raises a chilling question. They once opened the door, and after that, chaos followed. So why is there knocking again? Some believe when a spirit becomes comfortable with a house, it doesn't stay alone. It invites others. And those other presences tend to be far less patient, far more dangerous. With this kind of knocking, the thing behind the door could be far worse than what first showed up. Opening it may no longer just let in a curious specter, but something malevolent, something hungry. As desperate as this family must be, at this point, opening the door isn't an option. Not until they have a plan or someone powerful enough to handle what might come through. If you were them, what would you do now? Change house? Set up protection? Call professionals? Whatever their next move is, one thing is certain. What's behind that door may be beyond anything they've seen before, and until we get more footage, more answers, or some clarity, this remains a mystery. This next clip is also an update from a previous investigation where a team of ghost hunters explored an old property that once belonged to an elderly couple who passed away, leaving the home abandoned for years. For days they've been at the house, documenting everything from soft knocks echoing through the hallway to objects subtly shifting whenever no one was looking. At one point, if they reached out to pick something up, no matter whether it was a notebook, a candle, or even a cup, the table would suddenly start vibrating violently until they dropped the item, almost like the spirit was warning them, "Don't touch my things." Even then, the investigators didn't leave. They felt strongly that whatever was there wasn't aggressive, only protective. So they tried something different, something that would confirm whether a spirit was truly responding to them. Watch this.
Da, nu știu, punem jos acolo.
Aici în casă?
Mai aici în spate la tablou. Au pisare asta, nu știu, pe ceva.
Așa?
Da, nu contează.
Dar ce vrei să fac?
Hai să vezi acum șmecherie.
Explică-mi și mie.
Deci lăsăm pe Nea Gheorghe aici, da? Bun. Acum. Închidem balconul. Eu am prins care-i faza, ca să știți.
Lasă-mă și merge, poate murim noi, că măcar...
Dar parcă n-ai mai murit.
Da, am murit, dar nu te mai am.
Oricare spirit te află aici, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială, îți ordon să miști tabloul ăsta sau să-l dai jos sau...
Doamne, mă.
Da? Deci ceva se lega. Nu mă sperii, nu rămân surprins. Fiindcă știam, eram sigur, 90% eram sigur că o să se întâmple chestia asta.
Adică când ne amândoi în balcon faci așa?
Da, fii atent. Stai așa că-l iau. Stai așa. Am luat pe Nea Gheorghe și lăsăm aici.
Și acum ce se întâmplă? Din timp murim?
Băi, oricare spirit te afla aici, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare suflet neliniștit, prin puterea primordială îți ordon să miști. Du-te, fă cu meciul tău, tragă meciul tău, l-o da jos să moară familia mea, l-o dau jos.
That moment was all the proof they needed, and after that, the house changed. The activity grew stronger. Watch.
Ia-l repede, ia-l.
O căzut singur. O căzut singur. Hai de pula mea. De pula mea.
Doamne, mi-am făcut cruci. Credeți-mă pe bunic, mi-am făcut cruci. E gata, e.
Îl ard în tămâie.
E gata, nu mai, e gata.
Îl ard în tămâie.
O dispărut mâncați-l. Tu măi, Nea Gheorghe, măi.
Asfidă-o cum stai așa.
Oricare spirit te află aici, îți ordon să faci ceea ce faci, să faci în fața camerei. Poza e jos, mă, acolo, rămas jos.
What came next sparked a completely different debate among viewers. Have a look.
Bun, Nea Gheorghe, dacă tot ești acolo lângă păpușa aia, poți un pic să o miști sau să o faci să meargă? Deci dacă se mișcă păpușa, am plecat acasă, vă zic de pe acum. Băga mea și pula în dracu să-mi bag. Gata, ba pula în casa asta. Gata, fraților, v-am spart în casa asta. Ieși afară, băga mea și pula, nică ne-o moară.
The discovery of those dolls shifted the entire conversation. Many began questioning whether the spirit they'd been communicating with was truly tied to the house, or tied to the dolls themselves. In the paranormal world, dolls are known to hold attachments. Spirits sometimes cling to them, reside in them, or even use them as vessels when they can't anchor themselves anywhere else. So now, there were two theories. Either the spirit belonged to someone who once lived in the home, or the previous owners unknowingly brought home a doll that already carried an attachment. After seeing those dolls move the way they did, the team didn't need any more convincing. They packed up their equipment, left the property immediately, and made it very clear they had no intention of spending another night inside that house. Now in this next video, a guy named Kyle, who you might remember from several of our previous videos, is still dealing with the same thing that's been tormenting him for months. Knocking sounds that seem to move from room to room, always following him, always getting louder. But this time, he was finally able to trace one of those knocks directly to the basement, and he discovered something that left him more confused than ever. Take a look.
Gosh dang it, I'm hearing that knocking sound again. There it is. Where is it coming from? Right there, right there. It's coming from this door. That's where it's been coming from. Somebody's knocking on that, or something is knocking on this freaking door. But there's nobody there, obviously. Well, at least I now know where it's coming from.
Finding no one at the door, no footsteps, not even a shadow fleeing the scene, left him with only one conclusion. Whatever is knocking isn't human. And honestly, after everything Kyle has been through in that house, this shouldn't even be surprising anymore. Because remember, this is the same guy who woke up one night and caught a dark figure standing frozen inside his crawl space, unmoving, just staring straight ahead as if it had been waiting for him. The same guy who's heard children laughing in the middle of the night, even though he has no kids, seen things in his attic shift around on their own, and has documented footsteps pacing inside the walls, things falling in the garage, small objects getting pushed across the floor, and the worst one yet, his home camera once caught a figure standing quietly beside his bed while he slept, vanishing just seconds before he woke up. All these incidents, from the crawl space, to the attic, to the garage, to his bedroom, and now the basement, connect in one disturbing pattern. Whatever is in this house moves freely, watches him, and makes itself known whenever it wants to. So until Kyle drops more updates, this remains one of the hardest cases to decode. In the following video, a guy and his partner have been dealing with something extremely unsettling inside their home. For days now, they've been coming back from work to find their living room and kitchen completely out of place. Pillows on the floor, cabinets half open, small items thrown across the room, and once, an entire stack of folded laundry scattered across the hallway as if someone walked through it intentionally. One of them insisted it had to be the cat, but the other argued that it didn't make sense. The cat isn't strong enough to knock over half the things they found on the ground. So, to settle the argument once and for all, they installed cameras. Here's what the camera caught. This clearly shows the cat is innocent, but it also confirms something else entirely. The couple now has another presence in the house, one they never invited and one they don't understand. And after seeing that footage, their minds immediately shifted from who did this to what exactly are we living with and how dangerous can it be? So look closely at the clips to see if you can piece things together. Watch. After this second clip, people in the comments began forming their own theories. Many said the movement feels exactly like a child spirit, but it didn't only happen during the day. Watch this. Now, how do you explain a chair rocking on its own in the middle of the night, almost as if someone was sitting in it and pushing off the ground with their feet? That detail alone shifted the conversation. Some viewers pointed out that this kind of night activity usually means the spirit is fully comfortable, too comfortable. Others believe the chair movement ties directly to the mess during the day, suggesting the same presence is active around the clock. If it really is a child spirit, it might not even realize it's causing fear, just doing what kids do, playing, exploring, touching things that don't belong to them. But until more updates are shared, and until the couple figures out exactly what kind of presence they're dealing with, this case remains completely unsolved. Now, this next video captures something that genuinely shook a lot of viewers, because it happened while Rebecca was homeschooling her kids. Watch.
2 and 0. So it's asking you which intervals in which the y is increasing. Select all and apply. Okay, so now we have it. So we have here to here. So the first one, -6, okay? And then we have, then it goes down, 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 up, and up. Okay, so we have -6 and -6 and 0.
At first glance, your mind wants to go with the simplest explanation, that the tree was already hanging by a thread. But according to Rebecca, the tree was still firmly attached to its base. No visible damage, no rot, nothing that looked like it was about to collapse. And then people who slowed the footage down began noticing something else. Something that made the entire situation feel way less natural. Several viewers claimed they saw a figure moving behind the tree just seconds before it began shaking on its own. So was it gravity, a rare coincidence, or something attempting to reveal itself through the only object it could manipulate? You decide. In this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian visited Bonanzaville, an open-air museum filled with preserved historic structures from different eras of North Dakota. There's the old haunted tavern where staff have reported glasses clinking on their own, the mansion said to echo footsteps long after closing, and even a small church where a shadowy figure is often seen slipping between the pews. And of course, Ian decided to walk through all of it completely alone. He started his investigation inside the old train shed, an authentic 1930s passenger coach where visitors have sworn they've seen a phantom conductor pacing the aisle. But for Ian, that night, the train shed was calm. Where things shifted was the next building he stepped into, the telephone museum. Watch.
These phones are dead. They're not even on. I'm not even sure if you'd even be able to make calls with it right now. Could you move this? The rotary dial? Whoa, what the? Dude, that was a freaking straight up phone ringing in that room. Holy crap, that scared me. Did you just make one of the phones ring in that room? That was coming from that room over there. Oh god. Well, I suppose let's go answer.
This museum has a long, unsettling history. Staff say the phones inside often ring on their own, connecting to other historical buildings across the property. But whenever someone picks up, it's only dead air. Others have reported seeing a ghostly woman drift through the aisles, appearing and disappearing between the old switchboards. So Ian, being Ian, decided to answer one of the ringing phones himself. Watch what happened.
Hello? Could you speak through this phone? Who called that phone earlier? Put my voice recorder up to it.
A faint whisper came through his recorder, and Ian couldn't tell whether the voice came through the phone or from somewhere else inside the room. Listen again. Some say the voice sounds like it's trying to speak directly to him. Others think it's the woman people claim to see in the building, but whether it's tied to the museum, the phones, or something else entirely, one thing is clear. Whatever haunts that building knew he was there. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip was recorded by a guy named Kyle, who's been dealing with something deeply unsettling in his home. For weeks now, he says he's been hearing strange noises coming from his crawl space every single night, and not the kind of noises you brush off. Some nights it's low growling, other nights it sounds like giggling voices, almost like children playing where no child should be. One evening, he decided to crawl in there with a camera to finally see what was going on, and this is what he captured.
Shit. I should not have come here. What the f is that? I'm stuck. I'm gonna try to get out of here.
The harsh grunt, the growls, that haunting, childlike cry echoing in the distance. And if you look closely, it almost seems like there's someone, or something, standing at the far end of the crawl space before shifting out of sight. Viewers have been debating what Kyle encountered. Some believe the mixture of growls and childlike sounds suggests more than one entity in that tight space, something darker paired with something mimicking a child's voice. And a few people pointed out that crawl spaces are usually spiritually dead zones, quiet, forgotten corners of a house, which makes the idea of multiple voices echoing in there even more disturbing. Whatever those sounds were, they weren't normal, and they definitely weren't random house creaks. But I'll let you decide what you think is hiding beneath Kyle's home. Now, this next clip was recorded by an explorer who decided to spend the night inside a house that locals swear is haunted. He'd already heard the stories, voices in empty rooms, footsteps that follow you down the hall, and objects moving when no one's around. Still, he wanted to see it for himself. Around 5 a.m., long before sunrise, he suddenly started hearing unexplained knocks echoing through the house. Watch this. People who've experienced hauntings say knocking is often the first sign that something is aware of your presence and is testing how you'll react. And then there's the belief that knocking inside a haunted house is usually a warning, a way to send a message that you're not alone and you're not supposed to be here, especially in a place known for previous visitors reporting the same thing, knocks with no visible source and always at the exact same hour. So was someone trying to communicate with him? Was he being warned? Or is something else living in that house reacting to his presence? You decide. In this next clip, another group of explorers decided to check out an old abandoned school, the kind of place where every hallway feels frozen in time, and every empty classroom looks like the kids left decades ago and never came back. They were there mainly for the architecture and the eerie silence, and while filming, they had no idea they'd captured something far more unsettling than peeling paint and dusty desks. Have a look. Right there, at the end of the hallway, an apparition that looks like a little girl. It wasn't until later, while reviewing their footage, that they realized what they'd actually caught on camera. Some say kids' apparitions are rarely what they seem, and although it didn't follow them, didn't move toward them, didn't even acknowledge them, the idea that something was silently standing there the entire time makes this clip one of the most chilling discoveries they've captured so far. Now, this next clip is about a lady named Morgan, who's been dealing with a string of unsettling, unexplained events inside her home. For weeks, she's complained about strange activity, lights flickering at odd hours, doors opening slightly on their own, and small objects shifting places when no one was near them. At first, she thought it was electrical issues, until the noises started. So she installed cameras around the house hoping to get answers. Here's what was captured. Right after she posted this footage, Morgan said the noises suddenly stopped, but the lights didn't. They flickered again the next night, this time before she even turned them on, and that's where the mystery begins. The following clip is a follow-up video from Sydney and her sister Gretchen, who rented an Airbnb for a wedding weekend, and ended up getting much more than they paid for. In their previous clip, they documented several strange things happening inside the house, objects shifting on their own, sudden movements near the stairs, and their dog refusing to stay away from that area, sniffing, pacing, and staring like something was standing right there. But the strangest moment was when Sydney slid her phone under the locked basement door, and something yanked it out of her hand. So before they checked out, They asked the host for permission to finally open the basement, just to make sure it wasn't a rodent or something harmless that grabbed her phone. Watch.
Yeah, I don't know.
She posted the clip online asking viewers what they saw, and some people claimed they heard a voice whisper, "I don't like you." Others pointed out something chilling. Inside the basement closet, there was another door, and instantly, people started wondering, what if something was hiding in there the entire time? Then, when Sydney turned off the basement light, viewers noticed something even stranger. Something standing there in the dark where nothing had been seconds before. Sydney left that basement without the answers she was hoping for, still confused, still unsettled, with more questions than when she went in. And just when they thought they were done with the place, something else happened before checkout that made them draw their own conclusion about that Airbnb. Watch this.
Let me see, maybe.
Like also.
They left traumatized, especially after remembering what one viewer commented under their first video. She said she recognized the Airbnb because of the carpet pattern and claimed someone had died on those exact steps. Whether that's true or not, nobody knows. But until more guests come forward with their own experiences, this one still remains completely unresolved. In this next video, a mother named Adrienne Dakota shared a clip that genuinely shook her because of what she noticed only after replaying her security footage. One afternoon, while checking her indoor cameras, she spotted something inside her living room, something hovering right around her child's playpen. At first, she couldn't make out what she was seeing, so she zoomed in, replayed the moment, slowed it down, but the more she looked, the more unsettling it became. Now, what makes this even creepier is that Adrienne had already been documenting strange occurrences in her home, and for whatever reason, these incidents always seemed to involve her children's toys. But this time was different. Watch.
Some of you are saying that you cannot see what I'm talking about. It took me a good minute when my sister showed me, but once I seen it, I couldn't unsee it. So just to kind of make it easier for you, because I know you can't really zoom in on TikTok, I will repost a shortened version for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about in both spots.
Whatever that was, it clearly wasn't a pet. She doesn't own any cats. And her 2 dogs? Both were right there in the living room when this thing appeared. Her baby was in the room too, sitting only a few feet away when it happened. To Adrian, this didn't look physical at all, but until she drops more updates, or until someone can identify exactly what was caught on camera, this one remains a mystery. This next clip is from someone you've definitely seen on this channel before, Rosanna. Her situation is one of the longest running and most unsettling cases we've ever covered. She's tried everything, spoken to multiple paranormal experts, cleansed the house more times than she can count, changed rooms, changed routines, but instead of getting better, things only escalated. Just imagine dealing with that kind of terror every single day. The sounds, the shadows, the constant feeling that something is standing right behind you, watching. Rosanna has since moved out of the building, but she's still releasing old clips, evidence she recorded during the worst of it, hoping that someone out there might finally recognize a pattern or have an answer she hasn't tried yet. She's separated, raising her kids alone, and fighting a battle she can't even see. And the hardest part? Every solution she's tried only brought temporary calm, a short moment of peace before the next wave of activity crashed back in. Until she finds something, anything that truly works, Rosanna's case remains one of the most disturbing and mysterious stories we've followed. Now, in this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian continues his late-night exploration deep in the Minnesota woods, heading straight for an isolated cemetery that locals whisper about constantly. It's been called one of the most haunted places in the region, and tucked inside it is something the town refers to as the glowing grave. At 2 a.m., armed with nothing but his flashlight and camera, Ian walked toward that grave and immediately tried to communicate with whatever might be lingering there. And that's when this happened.
If there's anyone that haunts this gravesite, could you show yourself somehow? I heard that this grave glows in the dark. Could you show me this phenomena? I'll shut off my light. If this grave glows, could you make it light up right now? Whoa! Holy crap! Dude, I just seen like a light float by that tombstone.
A glowing spirit orb suddenly floats in front of the old tombstone, without explanation.
Did you just appear? I'll take my light away again. If that was you, could you appear like that again? Oh my god!
Once again, he captured that same mysterious glow. Only this time, it was brighter, clearer, and much harder to dismiss. Some viewers believe these could be the phantom glows people have been reporting around that cemetery for decades. Small bursts of light that appear around certain graves and vanish when approached. But Ian's night didn't end there. While he was still investigating, something else happened.
Could you do that one more time? Oh, whoa, whoa! What the hell was that? Could you do that one more time? Oh, whoa, whoa! What the hell was that?
Suddenly, the fence begins rattling by itself without reason.
Oh, whoa, whoa! Oh, whoa, whoa! Oh, whoa, whoa! That sounded like the fence. Did you just rattle this fence? If that was you, and you just rattled this fence, could you do it again? Whoa. Holy moly. Dude, this is crazy. This fence keeps rattling.
The cemetery fence began rattling on command, and this pretty much proves he wasn't out there by himself. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, a man known for being blessed with sight, the rare ability to perceive things beyond the physical realm, visits yet another reportedly haunted house, one that's left its owners sleepless and terrified. They've complained about lights flickering violently in the middle of the night, furniture dragging across the floor on its own, children's laughter echoing through empty rooms, and the constant feeling of being watched from dark corners. Hoping to understand what's been tormenting them, he decided to visit. From the moment he arrived, he began sensing several energy shifts. Watch this.
Maybe some of these objects were haunted. What the f? Yo, this is moving and this is moving. Why isn't this one moving? I'm used to this shit already. You know what I mean? Like, don't follow me home. Can you stop this? Stop it right now. Stop. It's going even faster now. Look at this shit. And this one's perfectly. There's no wind. There's no wind at all. Look at the trees outside. I don't feel nothing negative though. But anyways, man.
According to him, the more fear a person shows, the stronger the activity becomes. He believes that spirits feed off fear, and that being terrified only invites them closer, almost like they draw energy from human emotion to manifest more clearly. This belief, he says, is what allows him to remain calm and confront the entities head on. But the next house he visited wasn't so quiet. The property's dark history involved a woman and her dog who tragically passed away inside. Ever since, the new residents have reported seeing a woman's shadow moving from room to room, often followed by the faint sound of paws on the hardwood floor. When he arrived at the house, this happened.
Cutting some stuff, but yeah, this is one of the houses. Shit, the hell was it? What the f? Yo, out with it. Yo, the door just shut on me. So she passed away?
That's why when I'm talking, I'm talking to her because she did that with the other door to me.
Because I've been getting the chills all, like, the whole time I've been here.
Yeah.
And I actually seen a dog, like an apparition of a dog right here. Like a little dog, like yours.
Oh, really?
Right here, yeah. And I was like, right here, right in this area. She had a dog too, huh?
She had a dog, yeah, but I don't know what kind. I think it was a small dog.
Yeah, because I see on jobs, some houses I see things, you know, like some houses they're like with spirits.
Yeah.
Whew. But that door just shut. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm used to it by this. I mean, I'm always working in houses that have stuff in them.
Well, I guess because all these homes are old.
They're old and they're by trees. They say trees hold a lot of spiritual
stuff in the water, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. So that was the homeowner's family member. And she's also sensitive like me. She sees it too and she talks. You know, I explained to her, the lady I seen her, she said, yeah, that's her aunt, so I'm not crazy. Anyways, I'm out of respect, I'm gonna stop recording. Because that's her aunt and her living relative. God bless everybody.
For those blessed or cursed with sight, reality, and the unseen world overlap. So when he says he saw something, maybe he truly did. But as always, I'll leave you to be the judge.